Morning, everyone. It's Becky Belote here from Newport News, Virginia. And guess what? I did not shower today. I am still doing this. I am so committed to you guys. I am crazy busy. National Scrapbook Day is this weekend. I'm doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday here in Newport News, Virginia. Super stoked about it. Fundraiser for the gym team that I coach. And I don't know what he's going to get very little time. So that's good news for those of you that hate it when my videos go too long. But I have a really cool idea for you today using your bow and envelope. So if you don't have this tool, it's a great tool for making bows. They go on albums if you want to, or on cards or gifts. Envelopes, if you make your own cards, it's genius. Today I'm going to show you another really cool use of it that I think you're going to. So go ahead. If you have it, go grab it. So this with it's really simple. And if you can grab a piece of paper that that one side is pretty busy, is this one, because I heard somebody say the other day, I thought this was a busy piece of paper. Yes, it's a busy piece of paper, and sometimes busy pieces of paper kind of distract from what you're doing. So I want to show you how to use a busy piece of paper in a really pretty way. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's make this snappy, shall we? All right. So what you want to do first is we're going to make, we're going to pretend that we're making a couple envelopes, but we're not going to go that far. So go ahead and cut your, in fact, you just need one. I want a 4x4 square. 4x4. Sorry about the dog. Can't love that. It's either now or never, and he's not going to shut up, but I don't know why. See a salt there. Pokey, quiet. All right, so 4x4 is what we want there. All right, and if you look at the dimensions in here, there's really not anything for a 4x4 piece of paper. But I learned this from somebody else. I think one of our really super cool advisors, Sachi, she was doing this concept with a 4-inch, and she said line it up at 2 1/8. So I did 2 1/8. All right. So what that is you see the 2 mark right here. There's one little dash to the left of that. That's the 8th. If you go 2, it says a 4th. I don't want that one. Okay. So I'm going to grab, in fact, yeah. And if you were going to do more than one of these, you can stack them. You can do a couple at a time. In fact, I think it works a little bit better with some density. All right, so since we only have one, I'm not going to put tons of pressure down it. So I'm taking the little scoring tool that's located in here out, and there's a line right here that I'm going, and there's another line right here that I'm going to go. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on the opposite corner, which is over here to the right, and I'm going to switch it so that that corner is at the same point that the other one was. So there's the 2. There's the quarter, there's the 8th right there in between. And I'm going to do the exact same thing again. So we're going to go down like this in this groove, and we're going to go in this groove. All right. Once you've done that, you create these little impressions. There's these little triangle impressions. There's one on each side. Let me see. Yeah, that's the best side for you to see it on if you're going to see it at all. It's a little triangle impression. All right. But what's really important here is all these really prominent lines. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, there is a little place right here that's got little feet sticking out. And I want you to go find those little triangles. And I'm going to put this back before I lose it. All right. I'm going to go to these little triangles and push the triangle in so that the little feet are lined up with the very prominent lines that are sticking out here. And you're going to do that all the way around. All right, this paper that I'm working with right now is from National Scrapbook Day. If you haven't noticed, that's what this is from. All right, then what I want you to do is grab let's see, while we're at it, this was 4-inch, right? Yes, it was 4-inch. What I want you to do is pick a diagonal, any diagonal, doesn't matter which one. We're going to go from the tippy point of one corner to the tippy point of the other. We're going to cut this right down the middle. If unsure, bring your little measuring tool out there to make sure that you are really cutting through the middle like you were intending. And I did move, so there we go. All right, so then we got that. All right, this was 4x4. All right, I'm going to grab another piece of paper from my National Scrapbook Day project recipes, which are still available. Things are starting to run out. So if you're waiting to get those, don't wait any longer. There are already things that are gone. So this was a 4-inch square. I'm going to do a 4.5-inch square out of this cardstock. So I'm lining this edge up to the 4.5 mark. I'm going to find the 4.5 mark here or here, and I'm going to do a cut back. I'm going to take this corner, I'm going to flip it, put it at the 4.5 again, and do another cut, lining it up to that 4.5 again. All right. And let's go ahead while we're at it and cut this bad boy too. All right, and then we're going to stick these down busy side up. You don't have to. You can put any side up. But the point here is to use some busy paper in a way that benefits it. So I'm going to do that now. All right, so let's go back and grab that busy piece of paper again. We're not done. And go ahead and cut yourself. Gosh, what did I do? I think it was, I'm not going to guess. I'm going to figure it out after I do it. All right. So, what we're going to do now, take a long side of your paper that's still 12 by 12. Go ahead and put your piece of paper level on underneath the little feet here, level with the edge, and punch. Then what I want you to do is move. Oh man, we should have done 2 at 1. That would have really made this easy. Darn. All right. Well, anyways, I think that was the point of me remembering how wide it was. I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to take a stab in the dark. And I'm going to say that I did 1 1/4. Yeah, I'm going to take a stab with 1 1/4, and I'm going to cut 2 1 1/4s so that if I goof up, I'll goof it up doubly bad. The nice thing about doing 2 at one time is not only the fact that it's faster, but also if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. You've got matching mistakes. So I went with 1 1/4, and I feel 95% confident about that. So again, I'm going to stack them nicely. I'm going to put it up against the ledge, and I'm going to mash. I'm going to slide this down so that little triangle piece is hanging off the edge. All right. And I'm going to do that all the way down. Slide it. It's banging off there. There. Keep doing it. It's pretty fast. Feels almost like a border maker system. This is kind of a unique cut. I love it. I love all the little blades that you can get for our straight trimmer. But this is so stinking dramatic. I really like it. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip it around, and we're going to do the exact same thing. And when I say the exact same thing, I'm going to take the impression. Let me do the dark side so you can see better. I'm going to take the impression. The reason why you can't just duplicate it is because this side is a little bit shorter than the other side. And that's natural because of the 12-inch spacing. So instead of trying to do exactly what I just did, I'm going to put the impression in the crook, so that this is opposite this cut, and go down. Make sure that your paper stays aligned together. It'll be really obvious what you're doing if you can't see so that you'll know that you're going in the exact same space. But again, we're cutting 2 at one time. So if there is a mistake, it is an equal mistake on both. All right. And then look to see which side, this looks pretty stinking center. The one that I did last time wasn't, but that looks really good. I'm gonna, so I don't know that. Well, now what I want to do, I want to give it a little bit of space on each end, line it up to the gray matte strip. We're just taking off a smidgen, guys, just a little smidgen. Off of each side. Just lined it with the edge of that matte strip. All right. And if one of your ends comes out bigger than the other, just try to balance it out so that they look about the same. All right. All right, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a piece of white cardstock if I have it around here somewhere. I think I do. I want to build on this white cardstock. I don't want to cut that one. Let me see if I can find a scrap real fast. Oh yeah, I'm golden right at my fingertips. That's unusual. All right, and we cut this. This was 1 1/4, right? So let's do 1 3/4. This was 1 1/4. I'm going to cut 2 strips at 1 3/4, which is basically almost to the edge of your mat here, the edge of your thing. In fact, make it the edge if you want to. It's not that much bigger, it's just a smidgen if that's easier for you to not have to remember a measurement all. Is that what I wanted to do? Not really. I think I wanted my green that side, so I don't want it 1 3/4. I want to cut off, I want to cut off just a half. I'm going to line it up to the, what do I want to do? Well, so that we're not wasting time, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And we did, what was it? 1 3/4. Take your contrast. I would cut that a little narrower if I was doing it at home. All right. I should have wrote down my measurements. All right, let's do, since that was 1 3/4, I'm going to do 2 1/4 for this green. 2 1/4. So basically I'm adding a 1/2 inch this time. That's my rule of thumb to have a really pretty border. All right, so what I'm gonna get now, when I built here, we're just gonna kind of assemble this fast. So we have this. We are going to put these borders, maybe on, let's put them on the side to look different than the one that I already made. Put that on the side. We'll put the white on top. It's a little wider border than I would have liked, but it's still going to get the effect that you all want. All right, so there's that. The one dimension that I feel really good about is this one. This was 2 1/4. I mean, 1 1/4, 1 1/4. And then the next one, I probably would just do a really narrow piece of white at 1 1/2, I guess. Right, so we're centering this one in the space. Is that pretty? And then the ones that we did earlier, how cute is this? To throw that there and there. Is that beautiful? Then what I would do, we've got more of this paper left over. Let's go ahead and cut a couple of more. This was 4 inch, as you recall. We did a 4 by 4, remember? I'm just going to lengthen that. And then I'm going to cut that in half. So this is 2 more 4 by 4s. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and mat those on my green. Probably going to have to get another piece of green. Went ahead and stuck it down. To do a really fast mat, if you just have a really narrow mat, you can take, you should be able to see the paper in the window there. I'm going to scoot it until I can't see the paper anymore. And that's about right for a nice size mat for something like this. Do it again. There's my paper through the window. Slide it till you can't see it anymore. Cut that off. All right, so that's really pretty. That'll be a nice 4 by 4 mat for the page. We would do the same thing for this one. If you want to cut a journal box, let's go ahead and do that. These are great sizes for journal boxes here. You just need to pay attention to how wide it is. All right, so how wide is it? I'll use this guy over here. You could use your mat underneath. It's 1, 2, it's 3 inches wide. So I'm going to do 3 by 4, I guess. 3 by 4. And then let's make this 1/2 inch smaller on each side. It was 3 by 4. So I'm going to do 2 1/2. by 3.5. 2.5 by 3.5. I just knocked off a 1/2 inch, and that's going to be a nice margin here for my journal box. And then if you want to take your perforating blade, that's my favorite for making a journal box, throw that in. You've seen me do this if you watch me all the time. All right, it's one of my favorite things. Line it up with a line. I like to line it up on this side, on the big side, and just perforate it. And you're going to keep doing that, lining up the perforating to the first line now, lining up that perforating edge to that line. Keep doing it until you feel like you've kind of run out of space. All right, and then we're going to stick that down. So what that helps doing is when you go to journal on it, you've got a line that you can visibly see that actually looks kind of artsy craftsy. All right, so now what do we got? We've got this going on. We've got this going on. We've got this. I love to add stickers to my mats. And I think I have some stickers hanging around here somewhere. Yeah, this is also from your project recipe. I know you're probably going to say, why are you putting that one on there? It's a different color. Well, the reason why I'm going to do that is the other side of this has a little different color. And it's actually, believe it or not, I think it looks kind of good together. So I don't see, oh, here it is. Somebody told me the other day they had no idea what I meant by popping something, so I'm not going to rush this step. This is foam tape, and you can throw it on, you can cut it to any size you want, and you can throw it on the back of your stickers and embellishments. This is a sticker. There's no need to put any flour or anything on it. Just put the foam pad. It's going to work just fine. And then throw it. Nothing stuck down, so I guess I shouldn't. I'll just lightly put that because I'm not ready to put this down yet. I'm in hurry phase. All right, so that takes care of that. The last step to finish this, we're gonna actually, I would mat that in green, but I'm not gonna take your time to find a piece of paper for that. This is probably the second to the biggest, second to the smallest size of our cutting ones. It says 2 on mine. Yeah, that would be the second to the smallest. And shoot, I'm gonna go ahead and cut 2 at the same time. And you put 2 at the same time, make sure you give yourself some space. I shouldn't say space. Make sure you put down plenty of pressure. All right. So there, I've got my 2 more to finish this up speedy fast. Things keep moving on me, guys. I should have just tacked them down very fast. I would have saved myself some time probably, right? All right, so there's that. And then this is my contrasting color. Oh, look. I didn't cut it all the way somehow. That little crease. All right. So now here we tie in the other color. I'll do vertical. We take so many vertical pictures these days with our phones. We'll make it vertical. All right, and then you have room for other photos here and here. Do you love it? All right, so let me show you a finished one that is stuck down that looks a little different. So notice where I put this cool little thing. I put it in the middle. Here's one I made with Painted Garden. This print is, I could look at it, so pretty. Wow, is it busy? And I thought this was the perfect layout for it. So I took the 2 triangles on this one, I put them down here. This was a mat from the mat pack. If you haven't used our mats from the mat packs, it's designed, you can put a 4x6 photo right on here, and it will hide what this says is partly sunny with a chance of fun. Or you could cut this up, make it an embellishment, add some stickers, and voila, you're done. In this case, I want it for a place to put a photograph. I'll put photographs here. I did put my ovals this way this time. This was a journal block from the Painted Garden set, and this was a sticker, and so was this from the Painted Garden. So this one is Painted Garden. Stinking beautiful, isn't it? And then this one is National Scrapbook Day, which is on last chance. So if you have not gotten National Scrapbook Day, paid the stuff in that set is just beautiful. Okay. So thank you for taking a peek. And that is all that I have today. If you are looking for an advisor, well, that's weird. There we go. There we go. If you're looking for an advisor, you can find one on the advisor network, creativememories.com. I would love for you to work with me. I do these videos on Tuesdays, and I do people zoom into my crops even from long distance for my demonstration. So if you need an advisor, please reach out to me. If you already have an advisor, thank you for supporting them and shopping with them today. But my website is www.creativememoriescom/user/Becky Belote. BECKIEBELOTE. Sign up for National Scrapbook Day. Find an advisor near you and find a National Scrapbook Day if you haven't already done so. Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.